So we're just going to kind of go into it. This is just me talking to you about how to sell seeded promo, how to sell Sprout Time, how to help that, how to put that into some of your marketing strategies, and hopefully grow your business. This will be pretty short and sweet. And at the end, I will get you guys a link to some content marketing pieces that reiterate some of the information and the things that we'll go over. Certainly not a straightforward product presentation, but there will be a mix of product in there as far as which items to implement in different scenarios and things like that. Just kind of how to talk about seeded promos because, and the reason that that's so important is because it is a new concept, right? It is a new category to our industry as a whole. So, how do you learn how to talk that talk, so to speak? So, for those of you who maybe aren't familiar with what seeded promos necessarily are, what that means, what we're actually defining with that, we're talking about products like seeded paper items where you can actually plant the paper itself and it will grow. Or we're talking about different types of grow kits where it's the planter, the seeds, the soil instructions, all that kind of fun stuff to get your garden growing and things like that. The first thing that I would encourage you guys to wrap your head around when it comes to seeded promos is to not pigeonhole those products into just your eco-friendly customers, right? These items we see sell across every vertical market for a wide variety of uses depending on the price point, demographic, and what that intended use is or what their messaging is. This isn't just for your eco-friendly customers, and it's not even just for your eco-friendly messages, right? It's not just about your customer promoting a message about being more sustainable, things like that. The other thing to mention is that this is not a trend, right? This isn't just another go green type of phase. This is a change in consumer expectations on what they want and need out of a product, whether it be a retail item or a promotional product like we're selling here. Obviously, we continue to see more and more of those trends in retail and promo run parallel to one another. So that'd be the one thing to definitely wrap your head around. However, at the same time, with the increasing demand for sustainable products and sustainable solutions, that is still a really big part of what Sprout Time is. I mean, Earth Day and the whole spring season is definitely a peak selling season for all the seeded promos, all the Sprout Time products. So definitely don't lose sight of that. But I wanted to make sure that we went over those other elements just to make sure you're kind of broadening your horizons or expanding your mindset when it comes to thinking about which customers some of these products and these types of solutions might apply to. So you're not just thinking about your green customers, your customers that are sustainably driven. Really try to open your mind up to really your entire book of business, and hopefully we can kind of hit on some things that might resonate well with you. And now I did throw up my email in the chat. If you guys have questions while we're going, don't hesitate to use the chat, and I'll answer them as much as I can. Otherwise, if you have a need for a virtual, a quote, a question, a project, you name it, my email is up there. It's matt.wagner@fieldsmfg.com. Don't ever hesitate to shoot me a note. Let me know what you need, and I'm happy to help you with that. So kind of jumping right into it from there, we were talking about the importance of these products still being sustainable in nature. And the one thing important, a quick little fun fact, a little statistic to throw at you that was done by the counselor ad impression study is where this data came from, is that 42% of end users have a more favorable opinion of an advertiser if the item received is eco-friendly. So what does that mean for you and for your customer? It's going to result in a more positive brand association, because sustainable products are a trending incentive to deliver your customers and their employees, while feeling good about knowing that it's making the planet a healthier place. So let's talk about, I think we've all kind of got our head wrapped around the sustainable part of things. So let's jump in a little bit more to some of the product specifics and how certain items and certain price points fit into different criteria and different initiatives that your customers might have. So we talked about the different seeded paper items, right? So this is our item number 696000. It is less than $1 is your sell price on it. It's USA made. We manufacture all this stuff in right in our Michigan facility, and that's actually a good point to bring up about a lot of the Sprout Time items, is that majority of them are USA made. We actually manufacture a lot of these items directly in our Michigan facility. So with that, obviously there's a rising need for USA made products just as much as there are for sustainable solutions, right? But what that also means is that you have less worry about inventory issues, right? You can go and sell an item like this all day long, every single day, and never have to worry about checking inventory on it. Now, God bless you if you sell a million pieces, you should probably check in and see what that lead time might be. But for your normal day-to-day business, this is something that you can just sell with pure confidence. And that holds true for a lot of the Sprout Time items. We manufacture it so you don't have to worry about checking stock on it. You can just sell it with more confidence and really shorten that sales cycle and that whole sales process by eliminating that additional step and just present it again with more confidence. So something like this, or even some of our other seed paper type items. We do a lot of seeded paper confetti, right? So if you're not familiar with what any of this type of stuff is, you plant these different shapes and things like that, or the confetti, you plant it and it is going to grow a variety of 13 different wildflowers. Again, going back to this guy, because this is one of our best sellers, and so it's an important one to put some focus on, is that it's USA made. It's less than $1. It gives back to the environment. And it comes with a full color graphic on the back. So you have a really nice, vibrant, full color imprint. And again, it's less than $1. At EQP, I think it's like 68 cents or something like that. So how does this get used, right? Well, you have a couple of different ways that something like this at this price point is going to be used. Pre-COVID, when we were still having trade shows, and those will come back eventually, right? It might look a little bit differently, but they will come back, and they are coming back. This was always a really popular event handout, whether it's a trade show, outdoor festival, concert, those types of things. Always really successful in that regard. So a quick case study for you. We had a customer about 18 months ago that came to us and said, "Hey, I've got this end user. They do a lot of trade show marketing, looking to kind of refresh what their handouts look like. What kind of ideas can you guys come up with?" Well, because we manufacture this, custom becomes really, really easy for us to do. So we did a custom shape for them of the icon that was their logo. Um, did that custom shape, packaged it all up, and I will also point out that the packaging here is also biodegradable, which is really important because the whole thing is completely earth friendly. They ordered 30,000 pieces. They loved it. It was phenomenal, and obviously replaced a lot of the commodity type products that they were used to handing out. Right, and that's one of the important pieces of this that I'll get to in this case study is the effectiveness of this product, what it does rather than what it is, and I'll elaborate on that a little bit more because applies to a lot of the Sprout Time products. So they get to their first trade show, had a rave reviews. It was actually the product itself was driving booth traffic. It was starting conversations, right? Why? Because you've got this thing sitting out on a table in a bucket, or you got guys handing it out. And it's a really warm way to welcome somebody into your booth, right? Hey, if you plant this shape, it's going to grow 13 different types of flowers. That's a totally new concept, and people love planting and growing things. It just makes us feel good. It's meditative in nature. It's something fun that we can do with our families. So it drives people into the booth. It's a really warm icebreaker, and so it kind of starts the conversation, right? So after this first trade show and the ones that followed, they found that it was the best trade show handout that they had ever had, and that is what they reported back to the distributor. The 30,000 pieces that they initially ordered was supposed to last them their entire trade show season, which was a full calendar year. I said, "Hey, we've already burned through almost all 30,000 pieces. People are just eating this up. We need more." And so they ordered 90,000 pieces. That lasted them about 3 months, and they had to order another 30,000 pieces. So really big volume, not a huge investment for anybody. Um, and at the end of the day, what we're talking about is, when I mentioned earlier that it's not so much about what the product is, but what the product does, right? And and seeded promos are more about evoking that positive emotion in somebody and creating that experience, or the scenario in which they can have that experience, right? Because that's all about what it is. If I give you this product, if I give you a pen, right, and I'm not going to knock a pen is a great promotional product and it has its place without a doubt. um, but beyond being a writing instrument, what does it do, right? Whereas a seeded product, for about the same price point in a much larger imprint area with a really nice full color imprint, and being completely earth friendly, you feel good about handing it out. Your message is much stronger, and somebody's going to take this home, right? The part of the reason it's so successful as an event handout is because with just like a lot of the Sprout Time items, if you hand this out and God forbid it does end up in the landfill, that it is ultimately going to break down and give back to the environment and make our planet a healthier place, right? So you feel good about handing it out. There's not a guilty conscience there. But here's the thing: people don't throw it away. People want to take something like this home. They want to take home a seeded promo. They want to plant it. They want to grow it with their family. And so now, if you listen to what a lot of the big name marketing professionals, the words on their lips for the last few years and in the years ahead, is experiential marketing. That's what everybody is looking for, is having an experience, right? So how do you take a promotional product and create an experience out of that? Sprout Time products do that, right? Because show me another item for less than $1 that's USA made, that has a full color logo on it, where you're going to take, someone's going to take it home, they're going to plant it with their family, they're going to take care of it, let it grow, nurture it, water it, maybe talk to it a little bit. I don't know. And at the end of the day, if you do like a basil kit, or even if it is wildflowers, you can then harvest it and then have this other, a whole nother life cycle, a whole nother experience with the product. You do like a grow kit, something like this, you could do a basil kit, right? You're going to harvest that basil, and now you're going to have share a healthy meal with your friends and family and those types of things. So it's creating this deeper level of brand engagement, more positive brand association, and at the end of the day, has a much stronger ROI for whatever your marketing initiative might be. Um, Going back to something like this, we kind of talked about how it was successful in pre-COVID, and once we get to the other side of COVID, and some of those events start to return, this is something that would be successful. But in today's world, in the world that we live in immediately, this has been really successful for direct mail pieces. Again, reason being it's flat weight, or excuse me, it's flat, it's lightweight, inexpensive, and again USA made, so we can do large volumes of it without having super long lead times or anything like that. You're not waiting. If you need 10,000 pieces of these, you're not waiting 90 days to get it from overseas. It's going to be a much shorter lead time for us to just make that right in house. Again, the confetti, and there's a whole assortment of different seed paper products that are used to, we use the seed paper to manufacture the product in a number of different formats and things like that. But the confetti has also been really successful. So where we see a lot of the confetti is for like grand openings, outside of grand openings, with a lot of commencement. So this, looking at the year, the season ahead, a lot of people in education, high schoolers, right? They're going to have outdoor commencements, and so the seed paper confetti is something that'll be successful there. You can throw confetti without feeling guilty about it, and ultimately it'll give back to the planet. But it's a fun way to celebrate. And in that regard, going back to the other one, we also have the graduation cap for any of those types of needs. So um, that's it with the seed paper specifically. Again, I'm kind of talking about some of the different grow kits and how we can maybe apply some of the different grow kits into your marketing initiatives. And Bill is asking, does Fields do the mailing service, or can you refer a reputable company? Bill, and anybody else that's curious on what the answer to that question is, answer is yes. Fields can do the mailing, and we can do USPS. We have developed a couple of items that have that all kind of built into the price, that all the fulfillment and mailing and everything else, where the only thing left is the price of postage. If you shoot me an email, I can direct you exactly to those items. Off the top of my head, I can't recall the item number, but I can certainly get you that information. Anything outside of those predefined solutions for direct mail, just reach out to me, or if there's somebody else on our team that you work with more regularly, they can certainly put that together and code it out on a case by case basis. When it comes to fulfillment or any direct mail services that you might need, we don't necessarily have a flat rate. Um, we do in certain situations, but when it's just one piece to a residential address, like we're talking about with a direct mail rather than a split ship or drop ship scenario, those just need to be quoted out on a case by case scenario because there's so many variables that come into it, and to make sure that we're getting you the most competitive price on it, that's the best way that we can do that today. So that's my long-winded response to that one, and I hope it was clear enough. But again, just shoot me an email if you got any questions on that. So when it comes to different grow kits, we can do this a couple of different ways, right? Whether it's an actual like desktop planter or things like that, or just other ways to deliver seeds. So this item is the 410-300. One of my personal favorites, definitely growing in popularity. But it has the reusable pouch, very retail type, crafty type packaging. And then on the inside, pretty simple. You have your seeds that you to get to select. You have a blank seed stake, so you can write on it and then identify what's sprouting up in your garden, and then obviously the planting instructions, so you know what to do once you receive this gift. Um, Pretty inexpensive. Again, you can not only plant the seeds and make that planet a healthier place, but then the packaging itself can also be reused and repurposed. So that's been a successful item for us. And then all the other grow kits. So something like this is our pop-up starter kit, kind of a staple product for us. 690185 is the item number. Again, it's USA made. You don't have to check stock on it. It's got a full color graphic. It's got the seeds and the soil and the instructions, everything that you need on the inside of this really creative and interesting packaging that we've got there. The wee kit and the petite kit, are a replica of like a terracotta planter. Pretty neat and identifiable. Item number is 410620. One of my favorites is the 410800, the wooden cube grow kit. So it's got the full color packaging on there. You can either do an engraved imprint or a one color imprint, and then your seeds, your soil, are everything, and everything else you need are in there. The instructions are on the bottom. Something like this has a little bit more staying power. In fact, I actually have one of them growing right on my desk. So something like this, historically has been used obviously as a desktop planter. uh, Now looking in today's world and what a desktop type of planter item might be in whatever item you're kind of looking at or considering, it's being used more as a obviously still a desktop item, but either in a work from home kit or welcome back to the office kit, those types of things. Because people, these employers, the HR departments, when they're doing this and their employee engagement, they want the employees are feeling so disconnected. So how can we give them something that's going to make them feel warm, keep their minds active and occupied, something that's maybe meditative in nature, but also remind them, we're seeing a lot of messaging about, hey, we're going to grow together, we're growing through this, or we're going to grow again in the future, or come grow with us if it's a recruiting type of tool, those types of things. So there's a lot of creative play on words that you can use when it comes to, when it comes to B2B type marketing, or even B2C type marketing. A lot of fun play on words and puns that you can tie into all the different seeded promo items. One of our largest orders, and before I get into that, I will mention that seeded promotional products, all the Sprout Tyme items, is where all of our largest volume orders have been coming from for the last, I'd say, approximately 3 years. So even though fields, our bread and butter is lanyards, Sprout Tyme is where all the big orders are coming from. So about a year ago, a little over a year ago, we had a really nice order on our Sprout pouch. And they were actually using that as a direct mail piece. So anybody that was a member of this company's rewards program, during the month of your birthday, you would receive this basil grow kit, that came in the mail as kind of a birthday gift. And so one of the really fun things that you can do with all these different grow kits, and when it's sitting on an employee's desk or a customer's desk or a prospect's desk, is to incorporate a hashtag into it, right? So you could have, hey, we're here to help you grow type of messaging on there, and then a hashtag with it. or hey, we're going to grow together. And again, with a hashtag in there. And so whether it's for a customer or if it's for employee engagement, now these every recipient is going to plant the item, or excuse me, plant the seeds in the planter, keep it on their desk. As the plant begins to grow and they're really proud of the progress that it's making, and holy crap, it's actually staying alive. They're going to take pictures of it. They're proud of it, right? Now they can share that onto social media, hashtag it, and now you've just taken a promotional product, an inexpensive promotional product that's staying on somebody's desk. They're taking pictures of it, and now it's also converted into online social media engagement, and creating some attention there as well. And again, you do like a basil kit or something like that, or a veggie kit, you're going to have a whole nother experience with it. And that's where the carton garden comes into play. And this has really been gaining in popularity throughout the pandemic, right? Because people are looking for ways to keep themselves active and occupied, looking for family fun activities, things that people can do together at home. And companies want to support that, right? Companies want to support their employees, this new work from home lifestyle that we've all had to adapt and adopt into. And so this carton garden has been really successful with that. And so we have a couple of, I think, three different predefined kits that work really well. And one is the veggie kit, another is a basil, or excuse me, an herb kit. My personal favorite is the garnish garden, the garnish kit. So it's everything that you need to grow the garnishes for your cocktail, because we all need one more excuse to have a cocktail. So this guy has basil, mint, and cucumber all in here. So you've got your full color graphic on the outside there. The packaging is all made from recycled material. The carton itself is obviously made from recycled material. And then on the inside, you have your three seeds. You have the three different blank seeds, wooden seed stakes, and then obviously all the soil pods that you need. And you actually start growing it right in this little egg carton here. So it's everything that you need to start your garden. And that's a really fun way to engage with someone's family. Teach kids the importance of growing, how to grow a plant, how to the importance of giving back to the environment. But then if you do something like a veggie kit, right, then that's going to teach kids also about the importance of eating healthy and or eating organic, and how to grow your own food. There's a lot of benefits, and there's a really strong and important message about having that knowledge. Whether it's implemented or not. I'm not suggesting that everybody's headed for the hills and going to live off the land, but it is useful and helpful information. Um, so outside of that, I'm going to shoot a link over in here into the chat just so you guys can download a sales flyer that we have. And what's nice about this one, and you'll see for yourselves, it reiterates a lot of the information, but the whole thing is written to be speaking directly to your customer. So it's very end user friendly. It'll help to plant some seeds with your customers on the importance of Sprout Time products, and implementing seeded promos into their marketing initiatives, and some different ways to kind of think about those types of products. And if nothing else, it'll also help you to learn and identify some different ways to talk about those products to your customers, and hopefully help make you a stronger salesperson when it comes to those types of things. I'll also throw up, if you don't want to download the PDF of it, I'm also going to throw up a link to just the flip book, so you have that as well. And then the last sales tool that I will mention to you guys is our Sprout Time sample kit. So these are completely free. We'll send them out at no charge. We'll even cover the ground freight for you. You can either just email me directly, or you can email samples@fieldsmfg.com, and just ask for a Sprout Time sample kit. And this will include a lot of the best sellers and staple products from the Sprout Time category, the Sprout Time line, that you would need to learn a little bit more, be able to touch and feel the products, try some of them out, take some seed paper. I encourage you guys to order some of the samples. Order up your sample kit, give it a shot yourself, have your own experience with it. But I will also tell you to also start putting those items into presentations, because your selling season for Sprout Time, the peak of it, starts now and goes till about the middle of May. So you really want to get these into presentations. You really want to start getting those types of items in front of your customers today. If there's any virtuals that you need, please let us know. We'll be happy to take care of that for you. If you need help with any pricing, you need something quoted out, whatever you might need, do not hesitate to reach out to myself directly or any of our other team members and customer service reps. Are all happy to help and jump in and help you to find some sales and grow your business. And that pun was totally intended. So, thank you guys for joining us, joining me, and hopefully we'll see business slowly picking up. And I hope you guys can find some success with the Sprout Time items. And we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.